In 2077, the storm of World War had come again. In 2 brief hours, most of the planet was reduced to cinders. And from the ashes of nuclear devastation, a new civilization would struggle to arise.
In Fallout, you play as the Vault Dweller, sent forth from your underground bunker to recover a water chip to replace the broken one within the vault. After you've succeeded in this task, you have to venture into the wasteland once more, this time to defeat the mutant threat by slaying the Master. The story of the original Fallout is all round pretty good. It has some interesting quirks while still being straightforward and letting the player know what their goal is. The best part about the story is that it presents you plenty of choices as you go through. Right from the start, you can go against what the game tells you to do. Instead of heading to the local settlement, you can just travel to anywhere on the map. I've recently gone back to the game, and so far I've pretty much been able to ignore the main quest, instead becoming a contract killer and then murdering possible cannibalistic doctors. However, the game does have a method to rein you in. Spend too long wandering about, exploring the lands and not focusing on saving the vault, and you will get a game over. The game puts you on a timer right from the very start. This means you have to focus on trying to get the water chip fixed early, or else you're risking an unavoidable game over if you don't leave yourself enough time in the end. That said, the game was designed to have players complete plenty of side quests in order to help them progress through the story. So you'll find yourself trying to strike a balance between pushing forward with the task at hand and also building up your character to a point where they can handle all of the obstacles they will face. I personally feel that the constant timer limits the player a bit too much at the start, becoming a constant overhanging worry that stops you from being able to fully engross yourself in other activities. That being said, it certainly is more realistic than having the main story just freeze in place as you decide to go off and complete a couple of faction side quests. Fallout was developed and published by Interplay, and looks vastly different to the Bethesda games from the series. The game is a turn-based RPG, and, as such, is focused heavily on player stats, specific equipment, and, of course, the special system.
That's why we at Vault-Tec have prepared these educational materials for you to better understand the 7 defining attributes that make you special.
Strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, luck. These 7 stats are such a staple of the series now, that it's strange to think that this was the first time anyone saw them. This system gives a very clear way to focus your build, right from the very start. When I talk with people about the characters they play, the special stats are an easy way for us to get across large elements of a build. Saying that you're running a high charisma character lets someone know that you're probably focusing around speech, and if you're running a high strength character, there's a good chance you're melee focused. Obviously there's more nuance than this, but it works really well as a starting point to get an idea for how to create a character. As an addition to this, the game also contains skills and traits. These add even more depth to how a character plays. Traits in particular I really like, as they tend to offer both a positive and negative effect, further specialising your build. Both skills and traits have returned in future Fallout titles, however they haven't been the same staple that Special has been. Fallout gives us a huge amount of world building right from the start, and this comes largely from the game Wasteland. Wasteland is an open world RPG set in post-apocalyptic America. Fallout was a spiritual successor to this game, and effectively just built on the lore of the original, with a few tweaks of course. This allowed us as the player to be deployed in a setting that already felt established, despite being the first game in the series. We were presented with a reasoning for how the war happened, several different civilizations, and the iconic desolate wasteland that we all associate with the post-apocalypse. Cities reduced to rubble, large empty spaces with no sign of life, and the dry dirt and sand terrain. The wasteland feels like a character in and of itself, one that stays with us throughout all of the franchise. No matter the entry, we all know that a Fallout game will have us surviving in the wasteland. It's one of the few staples of a franchise that sticks around in every entry. And, in my eyes at least, it's the main element of what makes a Fallout game. This is the introductory episode of a new series, one in which we'll be taking a look at all of the Fallout games. In future episodes, we'll see how the games changed, what remained the same, and whether or not all of the games in the franchise truly can be called a Fallout game. If you enjoy the concept of this series, do leave a like on the video, post a comment with your thoughts on what makes a Fallout game, and make sure to subscribe so that you can watch for future episodes in the series. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.